and welcome to Trusty Chords, the podcast which aims to celebrate music and those that create it. I feel it's rather customary for me to say that if you're a fan of bands who blend genres like garage rock, punk rock, and hardcore punk, then I know exactly a band you should be listening to. That band, my friends, is California's Destroy Boys. Formed in late 2015 by Violet Mayugba and Alexia Roditis, Destroy Boys took influence from all manner of classic punk and rock bands to craft something that is extremely unique. It's a little hard to categorise too. While they've been compared to countless other bands out there, including the likes of riot grrrl names such as Bikini Kill, it's far easier to listen to them for yourself and see just how refreshingly singular their sound really is. In 2016, Destroy Boys released their debut album, Sorry Mom, before following it up with Make Room in 2018 and Open Mouth, Open Heart in 2021. Alongside a number of EPs and award wins over the years, they've managed to amass a huge following thanks to their intense live shows and relentless attitude towards making music and connecting with their fans. In fact, that relentless attitude has again resulted in another record, with Funeral Soundtrack number 4 arriving this week on August 9th. It's a brilliant record and one which takes the band's already existing sonic sensibilities and continues to expand upon them. It's everything we've loved about what's come before, but sees them infuse it with various genres you might not expect, including the likes of salsa and bossa nova. Throw in some features from names like Mannequin Pussy and Scowl, and you've got an album you need to hear. This week, I was lucky enough to be joined by Violet and Alexia for another bonus episode of Trusty Chords, and it resulted in some of my favourite musical picks to date. Anyway, check out Destroy Boys' Funeral Soundtrack number 4 when it releases this week, and once you're done, have a listen to our chat, and I'll see you at the end of the episode for some general housekeeping. Violet Mayugba and Alexia Roditis, thank you for joining the Trusty Chords podcast.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Now, you've both been in the music world for quite a few years now, but for anyone who might not be aware of your names, can you give me a quick few words on who you are and why we're talking today?
Alexia, hit that.
Who are we? We are Vi and Alexia. We are in a band. I'm Alexia. We're in a band called Destroy Boys. We're a rock band, punk influenced band, pretty melodic, very dynamic. Got some political leanings, got some social leanings, and we just love to rock and have a great time.
This is all true.
Yes, and we've been in this band for like 9 years or so.
I know. So crazy.
Hella long, dude.
Yeah, the time has definitely flown, but it's been a very enjoyable decade of enjoying you guys. So thank you very much for doing what you guys do. But I guess on the topic of what you guys do, one thing I love to do with this podcast is sort of look at the influences that have informed what you do. So this podcast, Trusty Chords, sees me, it's a very good segue, that's for sure. This podcast sees me asking about some of the most important musical influences that you have. So what I do is follow the 1, 3, and 5 structure of a regular chord and ask you about 1 influential artist, 3 important albums, and 5 of your trusty songs.
How fun!
Yeah, I like to keep a bit of excitement going. So I guess to kick off with, who is 1 artist that has been the most influential to you as a musician? And Alexia or Violet, feel free to go first. I don't mind.
You said me first?
Brian, do you want to go first? Yeah, you go first.
Oh yeah. This is kind of embarrassing because I'm in a car with my friend. I think he's gonna laugh at me. But by far my most influential artist is Green Day. And they mean the world to me. They're kind of the reason why I play music in terms of why I got into alternative at all. Actually, I think they're the best freaking rock band in the world. And 3 records, I would say, for me, are Insomniac, which is their 4th album.
I should also say they don't have to be all by Green Day. They can be any 3 albums that have been important to you. Yeah.
Okay, fun. Okay, well, I still pick Insomniac.
That's fair. It's a great album, so I understand that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I feel like it's so corny to say that things are underrated, but I think that record is underrated. What'd you say?
Seconded.
Yeah, it is underrated. Yeah. I think it's one of their best pieces of work ever. I think they're amazing. And I also think that their newest record is incredible. And I'm very stoked for them. Coral Fang by the Distillers is another huge one for me.
That is an amazing record.
I think it's amazing and it's very emotional for me. It's just all those songs lock into a piece of my heart that are, kind of pieces that I don't want to be there, but they make me feel a lot better listening to those songs. It kind of purges those feelings a little bit. And I think her voice is just incredible, Brody's voice. Third record, third album for me. Dude, I know you said I wouldn't have to do this, but I'm gonna pick American Idiot.
I mean, there's really no going past a record like that. It had such an amazing impact on, just pop punk in the early thousands. It's impossible to ignore, isn't it?
It's just incredible when you look at a band like Green Day who created history with their record Dookie, their third record, 94. They created, this is a hot take, but I kind of don't give an F word. I think they created an entire genre of music that is impossible to be replicated. And they gave birth to so many great bands. I credit a lot of our band to, their influence. And then they had a second history-breaking record-breaking record with American Idiot, which is it just doesn't happen. And I think that credit goes to show how amazing of a band they are and what great prolific musicians they are. Billy's songwriting, I think it's just really amazing.
Yeah, these are all incredibly good points. I honestly couldn't have said it better myself if we're talking about Green Day.
Thank you. I mean, I think I've thought about them a lot in my
I can definitely tell. But I guess from that topic as well, what are 5 songs that you can always turn to? These could be songs either for comfort, excitement, anything at all. Your 5 trusty songs.
Ooh, man. Let me think. 5 songs. I might have to consult. I'm so bad with this stuff off the top, which is really embarrassing.
I can do my 1 and 3 if you want to find your 5.
Yeah, if you'd like to jump in, Alexia, that would be fine.
Sure, yeah, do
it. Okay, my number 1. God, I'm thinking about my influential artist. Okay, I'm gonna go with Mannequin Pussy because that band really influenced me as far as stage presence, and once I found them, just the dynamics of their music are incredible, and they're also wonderful people, and I really they make me love rock music, So Mannequin Pussy is definitely up there for top artist. Second to Freddie Mercury. I almost want to pick him instead for my number 1 artist because and Queen, of course, but Freddie Mercury in particular as a vocalist really primed me to sing how I sing because I just sang a bunch of Queen songs when I was younger. And so truly I feel Queen has and Freddie Mercury in particular have really shaped my vocals and lyricism.
I would truly love to hear Destroy Boys as a Queen cover band, if I'm honest. That would be an amazing career move.
Would that be so crazy?
That'd be very ambitious. Interesting.
Yeah, extremely ambitious. But yeah, Freddie Mercury, just I like how I just love how he sings. He's just so great at singing and doesn't leave any crumbs, That man eats. Let's see. 3 albums. I'm gonna go with The Fame / The Fame Monster by Lady Gaga. Because same with her, I used to just sing Lady Gaga songs forever. And I think that she really influenced my tone, the way that I sing, just really shaped me as a musician, I feel subconsciously. And also her videos, she's very out there. She's very does what she wants to do. And she has really big visions, visually and sonically. And so I love her. And The Fame and The Fame Monster are 2 great albums. But I put them together because there's a lot of songs on The Fame that are on The Fame Monster, so whatever.
Of course. It's basically 2 sides of the same coin, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Okay. I think I have a couple in mind. Hatful of Hollow, the compilation by the Smiths. It's not exactly an album, but that's the CD that I had in my car for all of high school and college. And so I feel they've had an influence as far as spacing, having everything in a band be tight. I love Johnny Marr's guitar. It's so good. It's and sometimes it's sparing. It just completes I don't know. It just like really, I don't know. He's like such a great guitarist.
He's a great example
like,
of a musician who knows how to use his instrument to actually inform the song rather than overtake the song.
yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's so
100%.
good.
And then Morrissey, fuck Morrissey, this and that.
Yeah.
But also that man can sing. That man can sing, and that man, like, I've sung so much to my car to Morrissey, and I feel like it's part of the reason why I can like do kind of like things that I do because I've like heard and listened to it so much. And let's see, on the Mannequin Pussy tip, I kind of want to just shout out Patience by Mannequin Pussy because that to me is a no skips album. Like,
yeah.
I love how dynamic it is. It goes from like break your heart to like punch someone in the face and then like goes back and forth with it. I think that they're all like such talented musicians, and the new music that they put out has also been great. But I really, really love Patience by Mannequin Pussy. Like, I think that Missy is an incredible vocalist, an incredible guitar player. Like, she's really creative. She has like such a unique voice. And I just like really like, as you can see, I don't know, I really love like the front people. I love I haven't gotten too much into technicalities. Like, there's other albums that kind of reflect that a little more. But yeah, and the Clash, but for more political, but like what's it called? More subtle. Like, I really appreciate the Clash's like subtlety as far as like politics go. Like, it seems it's not subtle, but it is. It's like so catchy that it's like I don't even, it's like, damn, you just like radicalized me on accident.
Radicalized me with an incredibly catchy sing along as well.
Yeah, right. With like, dang, I didn't even know that that's what I was singing. So
yeah.
So, a little 4 for 3. We're getting I don't know, diminished chord or whatever.
That's completely fine. I always like a little bit of extra. I guess before we get onto the songs, Violet, have you had time to think of your 5 songs at all?
Yeah, I got some contenders for you guys.
Amazing.
First one is Mutt by Blink-182.
Oh, that's such a great song.
I did not play it in their set list when we went on tour with them, but I will forgive them this one time. I love that song. It's like, it's funny, like, they still sing about silly stuff in all their, in all their music, but when you break down like their hooks, they're like hook monsters. It's just really incredible. I wanted to do Restless Heart Syndrome by Green Day because that song is just insane. It's so operatic. It's kind of giving theater a little bit. Just rad. I love Impenetrable Cerebral Fortress by Gulch. I love Gulch. I miss Gulch all the time. I think about Gulch all the time. I miss them. And My Own Summer parentheses Shove It by Deftones.
Such a
Deftones,
ferocious song. It's such a good song.
Yeah, undeniably great band. And then I'm gonna throw in just a little side one with No Aloha by the Breeders. That is like a very sneaky, emotional song.
Yeah,
the slide guitar just does something to me.
That is also a really nicely diverse sort of list of like the heavy and the emotional, and like they really hit you in the head and the heart sort of thing. I really like that list.
Oh, thanks.
And Alexia, what about your 5?
All right. For the first one, I'm going to go with Alfonsina y el Mar by Mercedes Sosa. She's like a Latin like folk musician. And yeah, she's from Argentina, and I love her. Like, her voice feels similar to mine, and that song is just gorgeous. It's like a great storytelling song too, which I think is really cool. And the guitar is great too. That's number 1. Second one is gonna be "Talk to You" by Bugsy. Even though they like don't play that song unless I'm there because I'm like, please play that song. But so Bugsy is like a friend. They're homies, and Emily, the singer, is so good. Like, gosh, I have no words. So good. Really, like, switches between the chest and the high voice in a way that I love. Like, her melodies are just incredible. And like Bugsy, they are an artist that challenge me because they're my peers. And I watch, like, when we played with them, I'm like, damn, like, I gotta sing so good. Like, Emily's here. You know what I mean? Like, Emily's here. I gotta sing so good right now.
Yeah, they're just like really pushing you to the next level, and yeah, I get that.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I'm also gonna throw in, like, let's see. I think "Haha" by The Garden, the song.
Yes,
Yeah, The
banger.
Garden. Yeah, The
Forgotten
Garden is a band. Oh yeah, dude. The
They're
Garden is a band
such a
that
great band.
I love. And they really changed how I perform. Like, I saw them and I was like, that's how you put on a show. Wow. So I'm gonna put them in there too. Let's see. Let's go Nirvana. Let's go Nirvana. I think On a Plane. I'm gonna go with On a Plane because I really like, repetitive is not a thing that I do very much in my music. But after I listened to a lot of Nirvana, I started to try and like incorporate a little more like repetition into it because I think that that's really cool. And I also think that, or actually, like, I might change my song to Dumb because that song is
Yeah.
really repetitive and I feel like it's used in like a very smart way. Like, I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. It kind of reflects like the cyclical nature of thinking like that, which I think is so cool.
That's actually a really good take on it. I hadn't considered until now, but yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. And the repetitive nature of it is reflects a certain kind of mental health situation, which I relate to.
Right there with you.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, right there with you. All right, so we have
Sweet.
one song left, I think.
One song left. Oh geez. Ooh. I'm gonna go with Venus as a Boy by Bjork.
Oh yes. Yes.
Tied with Leech Called Love by the Sugar Cubes, which was Bjork's like new wave band.
Oh yeah.
Because Bjork and Venus as a Boy is beautiful. As like a gender nonconforming person, I love that song and I feel very seen by that song. And I also really like that she, kind of same with Freddie Mercury, like he just uses the F out of her voice. And I just really appreciate that. Like, her showmanship is also really incredible. And I think that she uses a lot of like really interesting sounds to make her music. Like, I just think that Bjork's artistry is something that like I aspire to emulate in my own way. So that's my list. A little crazy.
I completely understand that. I mean, it is such a great list. I mean, actually, just how you mentioned like Bjork at the end there. I mean, I saw Bjork like 16 years ago. I've been chasing that high ever since. It's just like she's just incomparable. Her voice is just absolutely amazing. And I think you've actually summed it up better than I ever could. So I'm going to stop talking. And I'm just going to say, Violet and Alexia, thank you so very much for your time today and for being part of the Trusty Chords podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for
Thank you for
having us.
having
This was really fun.
Thank you for listening to Trusty Chords. I reckon you know what I'm going to say by now. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you're able to like, follow, share, and review this podcast on whatever your preferred platform of choice may be. I know I'm getting a little predictable, but in the interest of ensuring your expectations are met, I'd love it if you could do exactly what I just said. Oh, and if you like social media, well, I've got great news. You can find me over on Instagram and Facebook at Trusty Chords Podcast, all one word. I've also got a blog for this podcast on my website, which is tylerjenke.com. That's TYLERJENKE/Trusty Chords Podcast, all one word. You can find entries on each episode, the songs picked by artists, and a playlist too. Basically, you're in good hands if you're looking for content, is what I'm saying. You can also find a link to the Buy Me a Coffee platform, where you can swing me a few dollars to support this podcast if you feel so inclined. As always, there's no obligation, but I'd appreciate it all the same. Lastly, I need to thank Violet Mayugba and Alexia Roditis for appearing on the podcast this week. I also need to express my gratitude to Dave of Diamond Creative for helping organize this chat as well. But once again, thank you kindly for listening, and I hope to see you all again next week as I continue to celebrate music and those that create it.